So I would like to share my story with you. I'm a firm believer that testimonies are everything. And if we were more open and shared our stories with each other a little bit better, then I think we as women could really help each other. And this story was happened to me just this past week, and it was mind-boggling to me. It was life-changing for me because it could have been so much worse than it was. And you never really think about how just a small thing could really change your life. And so I'm just going to tell you what happened to me. And I'm not saying that this is your story, but maybe this can help you. I woke up last Sunday morning. Today is Sunday, so it was 1 week ago today. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to my eyeballs rolling around in my head. Now, and I don't mean together. I mean, they were separate. If you were to take 2 marbles and throw them into a bowl and watch those marbles just kind of do this, that was my eyes in my head. Instantly, I was sick to my stomach. I was trying to get to the bathroom and holding on to walls because I seriously thought I was going to throw up. It was so bad. And it didn't go away when I closed my eyes. Now, it originally started when I opened, or when I closed when my eyes were shut. So when I opened my eyes, it didn't stop. My world was still out of control. And so I put my hand over my eyes and I just pushed on my eyeballs, and I was like, I woke up my husband and I said, honey, I can't see, something's not right here. And then after a little bit, I was laying down and it kind of came and went until about noon that day. And I told him, I says, I think I have vertigo. I don't know what vertigo is, but I think that's what it is. And now this started at 5. So at 6 a.m., he's on the computer trying to figure out what is wrong with his wife. And it didn't really, it stopped around noon, but my eyes were like doing this and they were shaking, and I couldn't focus on anything, because whenever I would focus on anything, then my eyes would start to roll again. And it was scary. I'm not going to lie. It was scary. It took me so off guard, you know? So that was my Sunday. And I kept thinking, I'm okay. I'm okay. I can do this. I'm a strong woman. I can do this. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go to work on Monday. We'll be good. Life will go on, right? No. Monday morning, I woke up and I'm like, something's not right. This isn't right. I called in from work, and I called out from work, and at 8:15, I called my doctor and says, I need to get in. I think I got vertigo. So I had an appointment for 10 a.m. That's just not normal. It just isn't normal. And so my husband left work and he took me to the doctor, and she confirmed. She laid me on my back and my eyes started rolling. She was like, yeah, you got vertigo. So she gave me some meclizine and some, it's called an Epley maneuver, to do the Epley maneuver. Now, if you deal with vertigo and you've done any research, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I came home. My husband dropped me off back at home, and he went to work, and after work he picked up the meclizine because I didn't want to start. Now, I started the Epley maneuver because my husband found it online. I started it on Sunday morning, and it immediately threw me into major vertigo again. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. And I was instantly nauseated and trying to get myself to the bathroom to possibly throw up. And so I ended up, he came home Monday, picked up the meclizine, and I took 2 of the meclizine pills. They're for seasickness. So I took 2 of those, and I did the Epley maneuver, and my eyes Now, when you do the Epley maneuver, you don't want to do it if you don't have vertigo because it throws you into vertigo. So I did the Epley maneuver, and it was a light case of vertigo, and my doctor told me to do it 3 times a week. So I did it, and my eyes were, 3 times a week, 3 times a day. And that Monday night, my eyes were a little movement, not a whole lot, but there was movement in my eyes. And my eyes were just shaking. And I couldn't focus on anything, because if I focused on something, then my eyes would, they would really start rolling. So I would look at something, I'd look away, and glasses on, glasses off, back and forth, because I couldn't see with them, I couldn't see without them, and everything was shaking, and it was a really scary feeling, because my world felt seriously out of control. So I ended up, Tuesday morning, I got up and I took another one of the meclizine, and I did the maneuver again before my husband went to work. And the meclizine, I took 1 pill that morning, and it just knocked me out. I was out of it all day. I did the maneuver again on Tuesday afternoon. And by the time my husband came home Tuesday night, I was in my chair, my recliner. My eyes were still shaking, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? I put it out there on Facebook and asked people if they deal with this. Anybody, has had this. I had comments from, I had 1 episode and it lasted for a week, and to people who have been dealing with it for 6 months and years, and they're finding no relief. And I'm thinking to myself, I started going down this spiral thinking, okay, well, works out, because I am holding walls to get to the bathroom. There's no way that I am going to be able to drive the car or go back to work. And it really, really was unnerving. And my thought process started going down this bunny trail of, okay, well, I was planning on retiring in roughly 3.5 years. So guess I'm retiring now. And am I going to be able to get disability until I'm into my full retirement? And that was my thought process. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, what am I going to do here? I'm not ready for this. And the hardest thing about it was that I wasn't sick. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel bad. I felt like I was trapped in this situation where I could not see, I couldn't focus, my eyeballs would just start rolling, and my world was just out of control, and it was really scary. So that was my Tuesday. I didn't sleep, because every time I would fall asleep, especially if I rolled onto my right side, it would start again. And with all the research and everything that we had found, is that this little teeny tiny crystal had jogged loose in my right ear. And this microscopic thing just completely turned my world upside down. And so I woke up Wednesday morning, and I got up out of bed, and my eyes are still doing this. They've been doing this since Sunday, and I thought, God, we got a problem. We got a problem here. I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me figure this out. So on Wednesday, I got up, and my daughter had messaged me and said, how you doing, Mom? And I kind of explained to her what was going on in my world. And she's not a naturalist, but she likes to look into a lot of the natural remedies. And that was my thought process too, was there's got to be something natural out there. God gives us everything we need, right? Right here in our own world, he gives us what we need. And now don't think for a minute that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm only into natural and stuff. No, I believe in natural, and I believe that God gives us everything we need, and everything around us is there for our use to help us to succeed in what we're doing, even when it comes to health. But I also believe in doctors, and I believe in medicine, and I believe in scientific facts, but I also have faith and I believe in spiritual. And, you know, so I feel I have a healthy balance with that. So I got up and I started thinking, okay, there's got to be something natural here. Lord, put me on the right path. About that time, my daughter's messaging me and she says, Mom, I want you to look into this and this and this. Watch this video and you need to start taking vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. And I'm like, well, I already take D3, so let me look into K2. And I started down this bunny trail and I came across this essential oil. Now, I'm not here to sell you essential oils. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to hopefully give you some faith by sharing my story with you. So I found this essential oil. It was called Vertigo. And I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, I have something just like that. I wonder. So I went and I grabbed it and I put a little bit behind my ears on both sides, 30 seconds. It wasn't 30 seconds and my eyes stopped shaking. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm looking around and I'm like, I can focus. I can focus on things. I can still tell that I'm out of balance, but my eyes were no longer shaking. Now, this was Wednesday afternoon. So then Wednesday night, I told my husband, I says, let's do this one more time. Now, I know I was talking to another friend of mine who works for a neurologist, and she was telling me that you don't do the maneuver anymore when you feel that you are no longer having vertigo. Well, I felt like I still had vertigo, just my eyes were no longer shaking. And I'm like, yes, that gave me some hope. So I decided then to start do the maneuver one more time. Let's see what happens. Well, every time I did the maneuver, and I was doing it 3 times a day, my eyes would get a little bit, just a little bit shaky. Not real bad like it had Sunday morning. Well, this time when I did the maneuver, I felt something in my ear just kind of like go whoosh. And when it did that, my eyes dropped and they dropped and then they took off and they were just like crazy. And that was on my right side because you always want to do the one where you know that that's the side that throws me into vertigo. So then when I turned to the left side, my eyes began to settle down. And I'm like, okay, I think this is it for me. So when I sat up, felt a little dizzy, felt a little, I just had an episode. And so that was Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I got up and I'm like, okay, I think I'm on the other side of this now. I think I'm doing good. I'm like, praise God. I think I'm doing really good. So Thursday I took it easy, but my eyes, they really hurt. It wasn't like my eyeballs hurt. It was like the back of my eyeballs hurt. And then I'm thinking, after everything my eyeballs have been through, I can imagine what they're going through. They probably are sore. So I thought, okay, Friday I can go. I'm going to go out on Thursday night. My husband and I are going to go to the store and we're going to kind of walk around. I want to drive. I want to see. Well, I didn't drive, but I walked around and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm steadier, but I'm not as steady as I feel I should be. So then on Friday, I thought I can go to work. And then I thought, I'm not as steady as I should be. And maybe I need to take another day. So I took Friday and my eyeballs still hurt. But then by Saturday, and now I'm putting a washcloth on my eyes and I'm putting refresh eye drops in my eyes. And I'm just not just a couple of drops. I'm laying there. I am like drop after drop after drop after drop. And I put as hot as washcloth as I can on my eyes. And they just really started feeling better. And here it is Sunday, and I'm excited to go back to work tomorrow. And I think, 1 week ago, I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to work anymore. I'm going to have to look at disability and early retirement. And now here I am today, and it's 1 week, 7 days. So I thank you. There's so many people out there praying for me, and I'm praying for them and their situation. I'm going to walk this way here for a minute. I'm praying for their situation as well. And I'm continuing to pray for you. And, if you need prayer for vertigo, please drop a hand down there and say, please pray for me. But don't give up hope. It's debilitating. And the hardest part about it was the fact that I didn't feel bad. So I'm like, why am I'm home and I'm in my recliner and I can't get up and move around, but I'm not sick. It was tough. So here I am to give you hope. That was my story. I hope that you find the end of your story.